Good morning. Hello, what is up, everybody? Steve Breach coming to you live after my post-gym workout. Wanted to do a little bit of Monday Night Raw review, but didn't get a chance to watch the show last night. Sat down to watch some TV with the wife last night, and somewhere along the way, just passed out. So, let's talk a little bit about the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view coming up. Kind of weird. Talking about CM Punk versus Ryback. This match has been named. It's kind of funny how this has come full circle. A year later, you can look and see where these guys are at. I remember going to the an October Raw last year on the way to the Hell in the Cell when they were finding out that John Cena wasn't going to be able to wrestle, and they were pushing Ryback up to the way. And Ryback seemed like a superstar that got pushed up the ranks the right way. People were really behind this guy, and somebody they really wanted to cheer for. It was shortly after Hell in the Cell, Ryback went on a long pay-per-view losing streak that sort of almost really still goes on today. I know he has the win at, who did he beat? He beat Jericho on pay-per-view, I believe it was, to end his streak. And except for that, I mean, he's got a whole bunch of big matches that he just came up short on. I mean, if this was any other kind of sporting league or something like that you would follow, you'd have this big team with a whole bunch of build-up, and every time it came up, they'd be like the Bufftown Bills of the 90s. They'd be a great team with Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas. They pushed their way all to the Super Bowl, and then once they get there, the damn Dallas Cowboys knock them down. And then when you look at the other side of the ring, CM Punk, honestly, in my mind, is the guy that's just sort of living off his popularity right now. WWE's really not giving anything to really push this guy because they know they want to make him a big deal. He's one of the reasons people come and they buy tickets. But, and CM Punk has the good guy hat on. To me, honestly, I don't care, and I don't think a good amount of other fans care out there either. They want him, winning matches and being on top and being involved in storylines. But he can't be too hot because they don't want to put him in that, that WWE Championship picture because they got that all wrapped up right now with Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. And where they go from there, I don't know. I mean, if Orton does come out of this victorious, you could easily just, pass it on to Orton versus CM Punk. But then you got John Cena sitting in the rings, and then sort of like they've actually, created a star and pushed somebody up the top with Daniel Bryan. And now you got too many good guys and not enough bad guys for these guys to fight on pay-per-view. And I don't really know about you guys, but when it comes to pay-per-view dollars, 3 ways and 4 ways, are, few and far in between. If you do too many of them, it just loses its bearings. You should have a true number one contender going up against a champion. And that's the way it is. So, we come around a year later, we're going to get this match again in the Hell in the Cell. This time, they're going to add Paul Heyman into it. I don't know about you guys, but I am honestly sick and tired. I really don't care about CM Punk trying to get his hands on Paul Heyman. I know that he's, goaded him into, giving it up a few times. But honestly, when it comes down to it, I think what they're trying to do is trying to make Ryback a true main eventer where they can put him up against these guys. And they're using CM Punk right now. But, I mean, isn't that the same thing CM Punk was doing when he was fighting Curtis Axel a few months ago? They thought that they were going to strap the Intercontinental title on this guy, give him a win over Triple H, have some matches with CM Punk, and then he would be, a number one contender, and he'd be able to, be one of these guys that is at the top of the card. And it didn't work. He's still the Intercontinental Champion, but he's floundering on main event. He's being used in jobber matches on Monday Night Raw like last night. I don't know about you guys, but I hate Beat the Clock Challenge. Honestly, to me, it is always very just easy to pick out what's going to happen. We get a few matches along the way, but honestly, those first 2 matches along the way don't mean shit, and you're just watching crap that's not going to mean anything in the end, because of always, the last guy always wins it. It's the way they've always booked it. I've very rarely ever seen somebody, come out and get the first pin of the night, and then nobody was able to beat the challenge. It's how they build suspense along the way. So to me, it's just sort of a throwaway show, sort of like when you're trying to get guys, qualified for, a Money in the Bank match or for a Royal Rumble match. I know that these matches have some importance and they fill some time on the show, but they just are way too obvious to me, what direction they're going in and what they're doing. With CM Punk getting his hands on Paul Heyman inside the Hell in the Cell. Honestly, if I'm Heyman, I'm just going to run around outside like crazy. Maybe even just stand outside and act like you're just the manager. If Punk goes on a hot streak and Ryback's down, maybe get him to hide underneath the ring like Hornswoggle or something like that, and then you could just build time of him trying to get him there. But hopefully this will be the pay-per-view. CM Punk finally gets his his shine, and he's able to, lay Ryback out and then get his hands on Heyman, and we can all walk out of there winners. I don't think many people want to see this go on to Survivor Series. You got to give Ryback some wins. And I mean, if you're going to put, a guy up against CM Punk and you're trying to make him as a star, as a believable superstar that's out there, the one thing they did wrong with Curtis Axel was they didn't let him beat him. And Ryback has to beat him. I think everybody's heard the rumors about Ryback versus Undertaker at WrestleMania as one of the proposed matches. If this, that, and the other thing all come together, and now that it seems like Hulk Hogan's not a part of the picture, and you got to have Brock and Rock and all those guys all the sun has to shine and hit the mirror at the perfect angle, and that's gonna make the door open and all that magical shit for movies. But honestly, if they there's no way in the world anybody in the world is going to believe Ryback is going to be able to get to WrestleMania and beat Undertaker at this point. He should have beat Punk last month, and if you are going to make this match, he's got to beat, he's got to win here, Survivor Series, TLC. I don't know, you can't have him win the Rumble because then he'd be the number one contender, but then you got to have him look really, really damn good in the Elimination Chamber style pay-per-view. So, I mean, you only have a few months to get your shit together. This is October. That is April. It's not that far away. You can't just have, Taker come out on Raw, Ryback come out, spear him a few times. You can book a match, and maybe some real Undertaker fans get behind the match, and if there are a few Ryback fans out there, they'll care about it. But to me, the common fan is going to look at it like they just needed somebody for Undertaker to beat so he can be 22-0 and just move on to the next show and see you later next year, Undertaker. I want to get somebody in that ring that honestly I can get behind and say, oh shit, that streak is going down. There was some people that really got some videos made, and it made a little bit of sense. At the very end, I almost sort of believed that CM Punk could do it, but no way the same way I thought Shawn Michaels could do it. No way the same way I thought Triple H could do it. I thought more of it with Triple H at 27, but at 28, I really started to believe it as the days went by, and they added Shawn Michaels to the match, and they added the Hell in the Cell to the match, and just I really, really wanted Taker to lose, and I don't think that's ever going to happen anymore. But I mean, if you're going to have these matches and they're going to have the significance of, the Undertaker streak on the line, you have to have a viable guy in there. If not, you have Undertaker versus Mark Henry in the casket match. Nobody gave a shit about that match. And since then they had Batista, they had Edge, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, CM Punk, all guys at the top of the card that were believable that Taker could pass the torch on to end his career and be happy about the way it all went down. So, I don't know. They need some serious shit to fix this up. If I had to put money on this match, if I'm betting on it, I'm going to bet CM Punk. In my heart, in my gut, I really want Ryback to win. So, it is what it is. And then hopefully just Paul Heyman's done. I'm pretty sure Heyman you think Heyman can get on top of the Hell in the Cell? I think he would. I think he would if Punk got him up there. Punk and Heyman on the top. I'd love to see it. We got to see Punk and Ryback last year on top there. That was pretty badass. That was a damn good match. If you guys have a chance, pop in your Hell in the Cell DVD or pop in your best of the pay-per-views from last year and check that match out. It's pretty good. I think a lot of people will remember it, but that's your DVD watch of the day. Peace out.